to test run this one more time. The software I used last time was not going to be able to display all of us. In fact, it was going to put us all in a corner, and since I've asked my amazing wife to join this broadcast today...
You want to get me on the screen?
I want to get her on the screen. Of course, I can't see anything.
I can't see anything.
This is very awkward to broadcast like this. I can see it right there, okay?
There you go.
So we have to have faith that this is working. For those of you in the podcast audience, the reason why we're going through this little mess, because I want to do headliners today, and the way that I did this broadcast the last time is not going to work for us this time.
Let's do it.
We're going to try this and see how it goes. So if you don't know headliners, what headliners is where other talk show hosts, tonight show hosts, late night hosts, even your news host, they read the headlines, the trending current events. Instead, they have producers and they have probably the government, maybe the CIA that's picking out their news stories to cover. But I don't have any of that. We don't have that.
No, which means we don't have an agenda.
Yeah, we have no agenda. In fact, we have no agenda, and we are not prepared for any of the things that we're going to talk about today.
It's going to get exciting.
So, this is our version of headlines. It's called Headliners, and my lovely wife, Jessica Linn, decided to join us today. So, for the video audience, I have no idea what this looks like, because I can't see anything. I probably don't need to be looking at myself anyway. Do I look skinnier?
You do.
Not all of my broadcasts are heavy and make you go, God bless, I need a bath. Not all of them are like that. The camera's looking at you, I think. Get your butt over here. So now that this camera's a thing, and maybe Santa Claus will bring us a camera for when we have two people and we don't have to worry about the AI running all over the place. Okay, anyway, so the very first story, actually talk real quick, because I got to handle something.
Hello. Here I am.
See, this is the best thing about new media, is that you don't have to follow anyone's rules or anyone's format. You just get to be yourself. And it's not always perfect.
No, it's not.
It's not.
But sometimes I get to be the star of the show.
You better say something important then.
I'm really happy to be here.
Uh-huh.
I'm very excited to pick up the girls from school and go to the big hot chocolate reindeer festival in town. Yeah?
Yeah, I'm going to go as Clark Griswold. Okay, so the very first story that you picked from when we tried to do this 15 times ago.
Yes.
Okay. Was Elon Musk.
Elon Musk.
We have not read this one. What is this all about? Oh, his email got hacked today. More than 5.4 million users' data released, including A-listers, private emails, and phone numbers.
What's going to happen? He's going to get sued for everything, and then Twitter gets shut down.
This just feels like a really beautiful scripted movie of nonsense. Like, all of this is just too perfect. Did you see he just kicked Kanye West off of Twitter because Kanye went on Alex Jones in his black mask, the one that covers his face, which I believe is graphene oxide symbolism, but that's another conversation. You don't know Alex Jones?
Just really
honey, so that goofy show that we were watching the other night, laughing our face off, with Mike Myers, where he plays he has like 85 characters.
Oh, yeah.
And the news guy with a gruff voice and lizard people run this world, and that guy, the one that talks.
I don't remember. I'll pay attention next time.
You laughed and said,
I know.
Watching movies together.
I have a very short attention span.
And she makes up the plot.
Oh yeah,
every movie.
But my plot is way better.
She makes up the plot and she predicts the plot while not watching the movie. She looks up from her phone and goes, "Oh, this is gonna happen." I'm like, "You haven't been watching, have you at all? Because like you've got the characters completely twisted."
I should be the one creating the plot, though. I think because my plot would work, and it's probably better.
So this segment may last 5 minutes. Anyway, by the way, all this privacy stuff that's happening right now, and not only do I believe this is part of the distraction, I believe what's going to happen is eventually this internet is going to shut down.
I was just thinking that.
They're going to shut this internet down.
Yep.
The one that we've enjoyed freely and took advantage of and not realized what's happening to us in the process. This internet's going to get shut down. They're going to use some type of conspiracy. They're going to use privacy. They're going to use what?
Elon Musk, I just saw in a different headline, is in 6 months going to bring out his brain chip. And he already said he's going to put one in himself. So don't worry, it's totally safe.
Except for all the monkeys that died.
But that is going to be the access into the new internet. The internet that nobody can do anything bad because you have an ID implanted in your head somewhere to get into the internet.
No, I don't think that's going to be the first step. That's too severe. The first step.
Okay.
And I don't think that chip is going to be accessible to peasants yet.
Really?
No.
Oh, okay.
No, except for the ones that may sign up for it. But this has got RoboCop written all over it. It's gotten... But no, the first thing that's going to... The digital ID, I believe, that people have to log in would be... I don't know where my phone is. The digital ID was what they're going to need to log in. But if you haven't noticed, there's all these apps are requiring you to log in with your face now. It doesn't matter if it was cryptocurrency. There's even like some new social media companies that are requiring it. There's banking stuff. There's a lot of different sites now that you put your face in it and you stick it in this little hologram and you go, and then you turn slightly to this and you go, yeah, they're doing all that. Facial recognition, uploading ourselves into this new system will be part of it. But eventually what you're talking about, I think, does happen.
Okay, but so is that a whole nother new internet? Or how do they get you to put the brain chips in? What's your motivation to want to put a chip in your brain?
The rise of computers. The merging with technology. Okay, there's going to be the useless eaters, which is what the World Economic Forum calls them, the people that are not contributing to society. And there's people that want to contribute to society, but they don't have the education. They don't have, and when I say education, I'm not talking about your 4-year degree because I don't believe that that's going to matter.
No.
This new age that we're going into is going to be really about technology, robots, the fourth industrial revolution, the Internet of Bodies, which that brain chip will be part of. But I think that's going to be, at first, for the elite, the people that are wanting to become godlike and have the perfection of a brain chip that gives them, Google in your brain. Can you imagine?
Yeah.
So that's going to be available for them. And then that's going to set a standard of what elites and wealthy people follow. Then there's going to be the freedom fighters that are in the middle, and I'm not talking about MAGA, I'm not talking about truthers or any of these people that you see on stages because they're full of crap. They are. And so they're just deceiving so many because they pretend to be good, but the people that pretend to be good, we've learned the hard way, need to be questioned 10 times as much. But there's going to be the people that have decided that, when I say freedom fighters, the people that fight for our independence, the right to remain free, the people that don't necessarily want to merge with technology, but they'll use technology, people like us, the people that have been teaching the importance of media and the reason why. Some people just don't grasp the fact that what media is going to be. Media will be the...
Because also, they're getting rid of all the jobs. Mm-hmm. So the 4-year degree isn't going to matter anymore. We're all going to be even in a way, is what it's going to look like. But in reality, it's going to be like fight or flight. Make it or break it.
I think that in the importance of knowing media is that gives you the multiple revenue streams, because it's going to be hard to get by with just the universal income that they give out. But the people that have their remain and have independence, those are the people that know media and how to utilize it, because those revenue streams, one, you're going to be able to do more than people that are just accepting universal income. But if you don't have that knowledge, you're not going to have a job. That's period. It's not so much that, like, when I've been talking about this for so long, that I think I'm some genius that knows everything, but I literally, like, the one thing that interested me growing up was the singularity technology and the fourth industrial revolution. Even though I didn't know that name yet, had been paying attention to the future and where we were going, and different movies stood out to me. I'm like, going, this is real. So it's, yeah, I know that it could sound like future tripping, but the future's here. I think I said this to you earlier, but these cable companies, or these TV networks, these major media networks now, they're operating on, they've already paid for that airtime basically. But they're not getting renewed, because the rise of the independent media companies are here. And that's what we get to be a part of. That's exciting to me. Okay, pick something else up. We spent too much time on that.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, what's white people?
White people.
What is? Note down the old man.
This one.
Yep.
Oh, that's not white people Twitter. Oh, it is white people Twitter.
Yeah.
This is the most awful of all Twitter or Reddit categories. White people Twitter is just nuts. It says, let's see, Dear America, you are waking up as Germany once did to the awareness that 1/3 of your people would kill another 1/3 of your people while another 1/3 watched.
Wow. Isn't that in the Bible too?
It is in the Bible, actually.
1/3 being slaughtered. Dying.
Revelation.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty much what happened. And all the I'm gonna stop
I
there.
don't know if we should talk too much about this one.
Let's go keep
Move
that
on.
commentary.
Move on.
I already got kicked off of a oh boy.
Oh yeah, I don't
Let's
know
go
about
to this one. Okay. This Balenciaga. Can't pronounce it, but it's in the news right now because of Kanye West. It's in the news because people have figured out the satanic symbolism, because I don't know who said it that was talking about symbolism, but once people figured out the symbolism that was all over the world, they would start to be able to put the puzzle together, because symbolism has run the world. You hide behind symbolism. Think about the Bible even. Parables are a form of symbolism, in my opinion.
How so?
So the symbolism is where something will stand for something. Mm-hmm. My way of comparing it, and it's probably not even an accurate definition because I'm not an Encyclopedia Britannica, but in my mind it's virtually the same thing, because I just brain farted.
The
symbolism. Oh, yeah. Symbolism in parables, because it's talking in code. It's talking in code, and symbolism is a code for something. But of course, the problem with symbolism is whatever majority gets behind that symbolism to mean something is what it means. Because the Nazi symbol, that's actually a religious symbol for like peace and love and harmony and balance. But the Nazis took it and killed a bunch of Jewish people. Yeah. But there's people that want their symbol back because it means something to them. Oh. This is why I don't wear a cross.
I know, I was just thinking, I'm like, that cross symbol thing, I've seen a lot of people I know that are not good people that wear it, and it makes me wonder why are they wearing it? What does it symbolize to them?
I think to most people they wear crosses because they're like, I'm a Christian. I hold this and grab faith, and there's a part in the Bible that talks about, this is a great example actually, these stones. I think your brother found this or something.
My uncle brought it back from the Black Hills.
So let's just pretend that this is a cross. And I hold this, and like by holding this, I believe that by doing this, I'm going to pray to Jesus, and this means something. So at the beginning, when you're first trying to build your faith and you're exercising your faith muscle, I believe that God allows us a certain amount of, okay. But then when we grow in our faith and we start to test, and once
you can't unknow.
You can't unknow what you know. And the closer that, like, we've been on a faith journey, like a really weird, crazy, intense faith journey that has made no sense.
But then ends up making sense.
But it ends up making sense. So one of the things that we realized, and I stepped away from crosses and all that stuff a few years ago, but so much of the symbolism that's pushed in our face with religion and even our faith as loving Jesus, I don't need that. And even the Bible, which is the most amazing book. Like, we listen to the Bible. There's Bibles all over this house. There's one here. There's one there. There's one back there. There's one over there. And like, we love the Bible, but our relationship's still not with the Bible.
Right. I don't feel like I need to memorize everything in there to have it work.
And of course, the Christians now are going to throw stones at you for saying that. Because in the Bible it says you need to memorize put this in your heart, like the book of Joshua. But the thing is, it's very interesting. I picked this up the other day. The Bible wasn't written when these stories were told. When these stories were written, they were parts of different books. The book of law, which is Moses, Deuteronomy, Numbers. There's a couple, but the book of law is what Moses wrote. And that's in the Old Testament, right? So when it talks about not changing the words of this book, and it talks about all these different things, they're not talking about the Bible. They're talking about that individual book, because the Bible is a bunch of individual books that have been put together. So that said, all this complication, this is not knocking the Bible. It's just, but it's also clear as day in the Bible where it says that Christians shouldn't fight over Scripture, what they know, their interpretations and all that stuff. But yet here we are fighting. So the point is, this is people that say it's the literal word of God, they're fighting over, like, they're fighting there. And it says in the Bible where it is the literal word of God in their belief, not to fight and argue over this stuff, but here they are doing it again. The point is, all that is just a distraction. Because God, you can speak to God directly, anytime, no matter where you are in your relationship with God. In fact, even if you're not a believer, you can still talk to God and God will talk back. You know how I know? Because he talked back to me. And I wasn't a believer. In fact, I didn't like God. I cursed God out. And if you saw the broadcast yesterday, you know that story. So
God, he doesn't wait to come to you until you know who he is. He's always there. He's waiting for you to do the work in your mind and in your heart, so that he can then, when you're ready, do his parts, his bigger parts.
We got to do some funny stuff, because none of this is funny yet. No, I know, but it's fun. Okay, so this BDSM scandal ignites hidden satanic conspiracy video. So I don't know.
Oh.
There's just a ton of.
Okay, so
there's the ball right there.
The black eye thing, or it's a black eye thing. That's something.
So I don't know if that's panda eyes or what. So there's the black hood, so that could be like secret society stuff. These shoes, so there's ball, B-A-L, okay, and then Valencia means it's something like I love the devil. It's floating all over the internet. I think I actually saved it. So what's this? There's a demon there.
Yeah. Is this
There's a black crow. There's another one. They didn't get that.
Is this their marketing campaign? Because it's a horrible marketing campaign. It just doesn't make me want to buy this for my children at all.
Yeah. So there's a whole thing on the internet. Let's not spend too much time on that. But it's, that's interesting. Okay. That's just dadgummit.
Look, funny. What's the funny one?
Okay, here's funny. This is... Okay. Da-da-da-da-da. No. I'm putting it in...
What in the world? Did you know that you saved this?
I think... Okay.
Awkward.
This is very awkward. I was going to send that to you to say, will you buy that for me for Christmas?
Oh my gosh.
Because I love donuts. Yikes. Let's get off that page. Okay.
Okay.
No, I've already done Ray J. Oh, God. I'm going to talk about this just because I have to really quick.
Twitter's ex-safety chief, Yoel Roth, finally admits mistake of censoring posts Hunter Biden's scoop.
Yeah. It's terrible. So, I'm getting off there. 2.5 years. Or over, what, when was the election? They've been suppressing this story forever. And now, conveniently, everyone's like, it was true. Yeah, we lied to you, but no big deal.
It's just perfect timing with the tax stuff coming out. All the freedom fighters, QAnon followers that are going to be pissed.
Yeah, they just let them all back on Twitter, too. They won't let me on Twitter, but they let those
isn't that
back.
Weird?
Because it just shows you that it's bull crap and it's part of the show. If they're letting them on...
Q.
Got
on.
QAnon. QAnon people.
Joshua T. Berglan.
Yeah.
Is too dangerous.
Because I am dangerous. You know why I'm dangerous?
You tell the truth?
Yeah, that. But also, when I think people are lying to me...
Call them out. You ask questions. This is like me trying to predict a movie. Go ahead.
You're really not good at this.
I know.
You're supposed to be able to read my mind.
I know, I get
We're
too
married.
excited. I get too excited.
Merry Christmas. Okay. No. Oh my God.
I know.
See, because of this, you made me forget what I was going to talk
I
about.
forgot too.
We're going to move on now. Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Oh, what is this? Is this Glenn Beck? Shop? Oh, the Fed launched a digital currency while you were watching.
Well, you weren't watching.
Yeah, well, you weren't watching. All I can go back to is Meet the Beast episode I did March of 2020. Go back, talked about all this stuff.
With the digital currency kind of all crumbling right now, that one's probably gonna be like the one everyone can trust. So.
Oh, all the safety concerns about social media, the bullying, the harassment, the violence, the propaganda, the COVID lies, all those things. That's what they're going to use to justify to shut down the internet and bring in this new safe and secure internet where you have to upload your ID. Yeah, that'll happen. Look at this, propaganda from 1945. This is one of my favorite Reddit channels. Trying to get people to stay home.
Wow, that's a long time ago. They were doing the same thing they're doing now.
Propaganda has run the world. Our school systems has run off propaganda. It's for our country. Think about how many people have country pride and they're all about their country, yet at the same time, their government is known for raping, pillaging, taking over other lands, having shadow wars and proxy wars. But we're blind. Hey, we're doing it in the name of freedom, or every country does this, though. Not just the United States.
This is a big deal because I was talking to some gentlemen at work about the Holocaust, and that all came into play. Everything that you're talking about, that we just go to all these different countries and just start telling them what to do and what not to do, and then come up with our reason why it's concerning. And then, to make it personal, they send the recruiters to my kid's school. 6 and a 7-year-old the other day. They said that they were talking about how my kids came home saying they want to join the army. Like, what? It's mind-blowing.
Here's the thing. I am 100% grateful for everyone that has served. My brother is high up in the military. I have so much respect for them. 100%. I want no part of it. The problem with me is that I've always had a problem with authority because something felt wrong to me. And for those of you that celebrate our government, our freedoms in America, without me giving you my opinion or anything, I would like to challenge you to look up the Project for a New American Century. Project for a New American Century was a laid out plan for the United States government and military to go and take control of all these lands. Do you know why?
Why?
To put the central banking system in.
Oh.
Because we need more countries using the American dollar, because with all of us getting to use the American dollar, and with the American dollar being strong, that allows, and being the main currency,
Oh my gosh.
the reason why the United States has to be the main currency is it allows them to print money, and it allows them to do all this money laundering they're doing. People think that they know what's going on in Ukraine. Good God, no, you have no clue. Especially if you watch the news. If you watch the news, you have no clue about anything. But anyway, I want to challenge you before you get your panties in a wad that I'm disrespecting our government or the United States military. I'm not. But read Project for a New American Century. I dare you. I dare you.
Can I also just say, I think the camera's looking at you for one. Cool. But for two, the thing that upsets me is my kids are 6 and 7. I don't want them to be influenced by people that are not me. Like, I don't want the government influencing them when they're so small that they haven't developed the skills to discern, because they're taught to listen to adults and respect adults and do what adults say. Like, you stay the heck away from my kids until they can figure stuff out on their own. Number two, what you're saying about what they're doing and going over to, because they want the banking system, the U.S. banking system in all these places, is a lot. It sounds like my ex-mother-in-law. Because she was like the martyr, would go and help people that were like weaker, being picked on, were sad. She'd jump in there and, whoa, that's not right, I'll help you handle this, and take over the situation. And everybody would look at her like she's the greatest thing since sliced bread. But then, if you turn not against her, but you don't agree with her, there's a problem there. So I feel like that might be similar to the situation you're talking about.
It's very similar, actually. Yeah, it was good. All right, let's see.
And I've got 2 ex-mother-in-laws, so nobody knows who I'm talking about.
I do.
I do too.
Let's see what this is all about. Oh, man. Okay. You want to read it?
Okay. Former transgender Navy SEAL announces detransition, says he was propagandized and pulled into a cult. Everyone is converting all these kids into transgender.
Oof.
The cult thing is like it's trending, I think, because I've been reading the headlines about they're pulling the whole MAGA movement.
Mega or MAGA?
How are you supposed to say it?
MAGA? MAGA.
M-A-G-A, MAGA.
Yeah, which means witch, by the way.
Oh, there you go. But they're trying to pull all of these patriotic MAGA movement people into their cult. The cult thing is trending. They're trying to make a reason to come after people, I think.
Oh, they're pitting Christians after gays. It's very interesting from my perspective of life, is I'm watching I'm a follower of Jesus Christ. I believe Jesus died on the cross for all of our sins. He is my Savior. I would not have her. I would not have the life we have. I would not be living the life of my dreams. Like, nothing happens without my relationship with the Lord, period. Yet at the same time, I don't fit into any of these religious movements that are happening. The Patriots, MAGA. And the reason why is because I love my liberal friends. I don't necessarily agree with abortion, but at the same time, I don't believe it's my right to tell you what to do, even though I'm your husband. Like, I don't feel that I have a say over anyone else's body. In the same way, our neighbors who are Hindu, who are amazing, who, to me, walk around with the peace that I would assume that Jesus had.
I was just shoveling a car out, and he came running with his shovel to see how he could help.
Yeah. I mean, it's just they're amazing people. Amazing. And I have tons of Indian friends that are Hindu, and I have Buddhist friends, and it's just like, I get it. Jesus is my Savior. That is how my life changed. I can't speak for other people. I can't speak for them. If our daughter was raped and molested, or not molested, even that, molested and got pregnant by someone that we knew, and I know this is awful to say, and then she got pregnant at whatever age, and the person that raped her was a monster. Like, who am I to tell her what to do with that child? Even as a parent.
And parents, that's where we went wrong, is not we, but parents tend to follow the structure that the government has set out with, you tell children what to do. You don't guide them and give them information and then help them along the right path. You tell them what to do. It's not our job. I know that if that situation, God, it doesn't ever happen.
No,
but if it did,
I rebuke myself for saying it.
I'm very comfortable with the fact that I know that the girls would come to me and I could help them work through it, but I would never tell them what they need to do.
Yeah, I don't think
not
that...
my body, even though they're my children.
Yeah, and it's just... And the other thing, too, they're pitting right now. I saw some people went and spray painted in this church, like the signage. They just spray painted all over it that they were responsible for all of the deaths that happened at that gay nightclub. This is a fun position for me to be in with who I am. And of course, none of my life is a secret because we share everything here. And I love Jesus. I know what the Bible says. I also know my own sexuality. I also know that how I got to that place, whether I was born with it or it happened because I was molested and then my behavior after, I don't know. But I'll tell you this, that I have served the Lord faithfully since I've given my life to Him 6-7 years ago, and God hasn't taken certain things away from me that I still have. And so I love Jesus with all my heart, yet I still am attracted to men, and that part of me hasn't gone away, and yet here it is, I see my brothers and sisters in Christ, and I see the LGBT community going at war and blaming each other. The Christians are being blamed for the attacks on the gay nightclub, which I don't think that's fair. And then I also don't think it's fair that the LGBT community is attacking Christians because of it. There's extreme Christians, there's extreme Muslims, there's extreme Buddhists, there's extreme... My God, there is a temple, there's a Hindu temple that has no monks because they all tested positive for meth in Thailand. A Buddhist temple, all the monks are gone because every one of them were doing meth.
I'm still having a hard time wrapping my mind around this being a real story.
No, it's real. It's absolutely 100% real.
How do you know?
Huh?
Did you see the monks?
I've watched videos on it.
Really?
Yeah, it's like a thing. It's a major thing. Yes. But that's the thing. There's preachers that are smoking meth right now in a hotel room with a gay prostitute. Or in a female prostitute, and vice versa. What?
There's one of the big time...
This segment's supposed to be funny.
Oh, shoot.
No, go ahead.
I just moved the camera.
It's fine.
No, they just came out, one of the arch people just gave a list of names. Oh, it really likes me. Just gave another list of names.
The camera. Dadgummit. AI camera. You want to finish what you were saying?
No. Let's move on to something more fun. Minneapolis.
Office tower goes back. Oh boy. Yeah, I know I wanted to talk about this. This is not funny though.
Okay, go.
But now I have to because you pointed on it. This office tower goes back to the lender. Okay, so I want to talk about, really quick, I don't need to spend time on this. A lot of these defaults that you're going to see happen around a lot of the cities, they're not, how do you say it? Some of this is by design. And the only way I can explain it to make it make sense is you got to read about smart cities. And it's really interesting. Again, this is not like a fear thing.
No, it's a 2030, right?
It's part of Agenda 2030, but there's like some amazing things that are a part of it. But sometimes for amazing to happen, things have to die. There has to be destruction. There's birthing pains, there's growing pains, there's all of that. So there's going to be a major disruption to bring all this in. But Minneapolis is about to become, like here in the next few years, it's going to become very obvious that it's about to be a mega metropolis. And if you see the city plans, Chicago and Minneapolis, believe it or not, are going to become like one major mega metropolis. I don't know how many years we're away, but you're going to start to, it will become more obvious that we're moving that way. It's exciting. There's got to be I'm excited by this. Futurology. What's this one? I like Futurology. Oh. So, MSN fired its human journalists and replaced them with AI that started publishing fake news about mermaids and Bigfoot. So these AI writing services out there right now are ridiculous. Go ahead.
I saw an article that said this article was written by a robot. Whoa. They're like normalizing this now.
And you can take your own existing transcript now. You can pump it into a machine, which is a computer basically. And it will AI generate your article to make it SEO friendly.
Oh, wow.
There's another thing where you can put in a sentence and it'll write the whole thing for you. How do I say this?
Who do you give credit to in that?
That's the point.
You're going to share your credit with the robot?
AI is going to take up every industry. The only chance that humans have are merging with technology or becoming a media company. This is why I have Media Company in a Box. Why I've been talking about everything I've been talking about for 2.5 years is because it's going to affect everybody. Sports writers are not going to have jobs.
Is there going to be sports still, do you think?
I think sports are going to dramatically change.
If we're getting universal income, the sports players would get universal income, so they wouldn't get paid these enormous amounts of money anymore, would they?
Unless if you look at it from the perspective that professional athletes are just professional slaves. And I'm not saying that to be offensive, but I think that anyone that works that's an employee, they're a slave to some point. Now, mind you, you may have a nice boss.
But you have to do what they say to make a living.
Yeah.
Yeah?
I don't think we're going to put this on video. Nah, because the camera's crazy, but we'll do a podcast. Like, we'll have that on podcast, which is fine. It's probably more enjoyable because the camera's, But we'll find a better way to do it. So I figured out something on the TV with the second camera that we can make work. So the next time we try this, we can really do it right.
All right.
Because I had fun with this, even though we talked about, I want to find, here's a funny thing. Let's do one funny thing, because I really wanted this to be humorous and interesting, if anything. So since we're not putting this on video now, I read today that gaslighting is Merriam-Webster's 2022 word of the year. And the guy says, that's ridiculous. Gaslighting isn't a thing. You must have read it wrong.
That's 2 years ago when I was trying to figure out what gaslighting meant and like place things together, and it's hard to figure out when you've been gaslit your whole life.
Yeah, it's wild to see the Twitter hacked, SEAL, scientist, Minneapolis Tower, conspiracy. Ooh, we might as well go to conspiracy since we've talked about so many weird. When they locked us down like dogs and shut down our businesses and restaurants and wasted $20 trillion to flatten the curve so that hospitals didn't get overwhelmed, except the big hospitals made record profits from taxpayer money for killing patients with Remdesivir.
I don't know.
Yeah, and ventilators. Whoosh, that image is... Okay, that's not funny at all. I try to make it funny, could not do that. That's the donut thing. There's surely one more on here. Oh, this is interesting. Hence the name, interesting as F. The Gate of All Nations, also known as the Gate of, is that?
Xerxes.
Xerxes? That's how you say it?
Mm-hmm.
Located the entrance to the ruins in the ancient city of Peripolis, Iran. Look how amazing that is.
Yeah. Wow. That looks like the thing that the Trojan horse went to.
It does. Babe, it's not exactly what I planned on, but I always love broadcasting with you just because what most of y'all don't get to see, because you're always hearing me or talking to me, is that my wife has a brilliant sense of humor, and so when she's been on other broadcasts, it's we're listening to someone else talk, and then you'll chime in with the questions, but you guys don't really get to see her brilliance
In action.
Because she does have a lot of very interesting things to say.
Thanks,
A very creative mind. You can see her art. So we are grateful that you all are here. Thank you for listening. Again, we just wanted to have some fun. After yesterday's broadcast, I am like, you know what? Can I ask you something? How do you feel about the broadcast I did yesterday?
I haven't gotten through the whole thing yet.
Okay.
But I'll keep you posted. So far, I think it's amazing. And I'm proud of you.
No, I almost deleted it like 6 times.
I know. I wish you would just...
I know. But I'm grateful for your support, which I said in the broadcast, because I would have never even thought about doing that. It was your... You need to talk about it.
Well, it was cool to have an answer to an internal question that I just never thought to ask.
Yeah.
And it's
what we're talking about, I gave myself HIV episode. Mm-hmm. Because that's a pretty startling title. I was just going to name it like chemsex.
Here's the other thing.
No, you need to say this.
Yeah, you also, there's another thing that you have skirted over, and it was how you trafficked yourself.
Oh!
You skirt over that a lot too.
So, that's actually a really good and fair question. Did the internet ghost went out for a second. That's interesting. So, the question was how I trafficked myself. I was trying to feed that sexual demon, and I was looking. I think I told you about. So my very first time I was in Hawaii, and they had these little porn theaters where you could go into booths. So I was exploring all that. They didn't have that really in Oklahoma. So I was.
Your very first time doing what?
When I first started to get the idea that I was going to try to escort myself. So I was my obsession with sex and needing it and wanting to explore and do all that stuff. I was seeking every avenue possible to find an outlet. And one of the things that I saw, because I had hired escorts in the past, but one of the things that I had saw were other people escorting themselves, and I thought, well, I can do that too. So I started reaching out to escort agencies and got hired. I think I've told you, my very first experience.
You never told me this. That you got hired by an escort service?
I got hired by an escort service, and I was in Waikiki when I was in college. And the very first time I went to go do it, I couldn't do it. I was like, chickened out. I was sober. I'm like, the dude was, I don't want to make fun of people or anything, but there was just, let's put it this way, even as a chemsex addict, and I could have been doing all the drugs in the world, I wouldn't have let him touch me then either. That's how bad it was. It was like Jabba the Hutt.
I never saw that.
He's a giant, fat, and gosh, that sounds, see, I didn't want to say that. He's just at least 400 pounds. And it just...
Not your type.
Yeah, and I had this whole Pretty Woman scenario.
Oh yeah,
I was a
totally.
dude.
They made that movie to make it look sexy.
And I had those situations. So in Hawaii, it was more like flirting with it. Then there was stuff on the street that happened. Then I got picked up on the street by a Brazilian guy. One time I was just walking, and that was an experience. He raped me. I went to his house, where his mom was at. I met his mom. Holy crap. Okay, so I might as well tell this story now. Boy, this is not where I expected headliners to go today. Jeez, wife. So I'm walking the streets. There's this place, and those of you who've ever been to Hawaii and have been to Waikiki, there's a strip bar called Femnu. And Femnu, and then right behind Femnu is like a bathhouse, and not a bathhouse, a massage shower bathhouse. It's where you go, and the women there will wash you and rub you, and it's a thing. So that's right next door, and then there's a porn place on the other side of it. So I'm walking the street, leaving, because I lived by the Ala Moana Canal, and I'm walking the street, and this really attractive guy, and I wasn't at that place where I could say another guy was attractive then. I was still really confused. I was 20 years old. And so I'm walking. He's like, hey, you need a ride? Yeah. And then, so he starts talking to me, and he's talking to me about his job. And he's like, yeah, why don't you come back to my house? We'll talk about it. Whew. So anyway, I go back to the house. And his mom's there. And so the very first time, it was like he just forced his penis in my mouth. And it was like, quote unquote, teaching me to suck it. And because I hadn't really, I wasn't that comfortable with it yet. And the only experiences I had were on drugs. So, this is the middle of the day, I'm not on drugs, I'm sober. And then here I've got this.
Yeah.
Never mind, that was almost going to be very descriptive.
Yeah.
But here's the thing. I'm so codependent. I'm so still trying to figure things out. I have this desperate need to be loved. And he was showing me attention that I liked. So when we swapped numbers, then he took me to the Royal Hawaiian Hotel. He took me out for drinks, and then gave me drugs, and then went back to his house. And that's when he raped me. And I tried to make him stop, and it hurt. Ugh. So when I learned about poppers, there's a technical term for it, but they're poppers. And they're different, they're not whippets, but it's like the same concept. But when you smell them, it just gives you this rush of euphoria. And if you're on drugs and do it at the same time, it's people that are bottoms like it. And so basically what it does is it takes the pain away from whatever. It makes it all right. And it makes it very euphoric feeling. It makes sex, this is part of the chemsex thing. is that it goes along with the drugs. That's when I was introduced to it. And it's better when this sounds terrible, but it's easier to take when you're actually on drugs. When you try to do it sober, it's like, yeah, what the hell? Anyway, that's when he introduced it to me. The third time, and was the last time, because it was more forceful, and again, I was sober. So it's my fault that I kept putting myself in this situation, but I was so desperate for love, I didn't know why I was having these desires, even though it hurt. Like, it was a really strange thing.
I don't know if you can really say it was your fault, though, because that's saying to someone who is beaten by their husband that it's their fault because they stayed. When you have been mentally manipulated and mistreated and you're not of sound mind, then you're vulnerable to things like that, in my opinion.
Yeah. And I want to finish answering your question, though, because I went into story time, too.
I love story time.
But to answer your question, that wasn't even really me trafficking myself then. It was when I went to Florida that I was very active. I went to one of those porn theaters, and how I met the first client that I had, I was in this booth, and like they have the porn theater, and there's all kinds of crazy that goes on there, and then they have these booths, and this place, the booths were open. So if you're sitting there watching a porn movie and you're masturbating, people can see it. So whatever your comfort level, there's some people.
It's like being in the locker room.
Right.
Do you change in front of
Exactly.
people?
That's exactly what it is. And so I'm sitting there, and I kid you not, all of a sudden this guy just drops on his knees and starts performing. As soon as I'm done, dumps $100 in my pocket. And I'm like,
I remember this story.
Yeah. And so then when I went outside, this is to timestamp this in my life. It's so weird. Like, I don't remember dates very well, but there's certain events that I remember. So whatever time this is, it was during the Sydney Olympics. He was going to Sydney for the Olympics. And when I saw him outside, he gave me his phone number. He goes, "I'll be back in 2 weeks. I'd like to see you and come over." Well, every time he was paying me, he paid off my car. He was giving me all kinds of money. But then I was escorting outside of him too, that I wasn't telling him about. And so, like on Craigslist and stuff like that. So I put myself in those situations, and a lot of bad situations. So I did that all through college. Even when I was making pretty good money with the job I was at, especially for a college kid, but I was living in Boca and wanted to go to South Beach, and I wanted to go to Club Space, and I wanted to have all the drugs I wanted. And so every time I was there, getting money, it was $200 for every time. And then sometimes there was extras, and then there was the shopping trips, and then there's all that. And then if he brought another guy over, then it would be double the money. And golly, yeah, it was awful. But I kept thinking, I would blank out, and I would be stiff, and I would basically say, "Okay, you got to put porn on." This is how the chemsex addiction got, like, the whole full brunt of it, like how I programmed myself when there was, like, the ritual came. So it made it easier watching other people on screen while he was doing whatever to me.
It's like a disassociation tool.
That was a disassociation tool, but then it came with, okay, now I'm going to do a little bit of drugs before, because he wasn't into drugs. But if I did a little bit before, I can make it more enjoyable, and then I make it more enjoyable and I perform better, then I'm going to get more from it. So the only reason why that stopped is because I found out that I had a 3-year-old. And that's when I ended up going back to Oklahoma and left Florida.
Thing.
Oh no, I went off the rails big time. No, it got worse.
that the fact that saved you from that moment, like that wasn't you that had to have been a hire.
I don't know why I was led to come back, because my addiction went off the rails after that. Like, it just escalated. I'd have little moments of, hey, I'm done with that, but I was addicted to hookers, and
I don't think until you heal, it's an easy thing to get past addiction. It's a beast.
yeah, it's terrible.
Yeah.
Is what it is. All right, let's end.
Right.
All right, so this was supposed to be fun, and but you know what? If we were led to talk about what we talked about it. Of course, maybe the news articles got us talking about certain things. That's the thing, is that this is not planned, and we speak from the heart. So there you go. I really wanted that to be enjoyable to listen.
I had fun, and maybe we'll cut it up into clips and use the end conversation.
I don't want to hear this conversation again. I'm just kidding. All right, guys, thank you so much for listening. It's a Friday. The Sabbath is on its way, and I can't wait. I'm ready. Thank you for your support. Thank you to all of the new listeners and people that have downloaded. Thank you to everyone who subscribed to the monthly membership for the videos, even though this one will not be on video. And thanks for checking out the other services that we offer. And just as a reminder, anything that you hire me to do, that money goes right to the Live Mono Worldwide Foundation. So we are grateful for your support. God bless you. Talk soon. Bye.